Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Lauren Palisha, the Head of Operations from Sebekin Fuels, and today I'd like to introduce Dirk to you. Dirk is our head driver trainer. He's the man behind all the exceptional awards and the talent that we have manning our fleet. And I really wanted to just introduce him so he can tell us more about Sebekin Fuels, their drivers, the training that goes into it, and how it is that we deliver the exceptional service that we do. Dirk.
Well, driving is probably the riskiest thing that anybody can do. And especially driving extra heavy vehicles with fuel, that becomes a problem. And we have third parties on the road that doesn't obey the rules. So it's a very challenging thing for drivers to actually follow the rules while everybody else is breaking them. We have lots of technology these days. We have advanced braking, we have retarders, we have all sorts of things that help them to maintain their speed, following distance, that control the following distance, the lane departure. But these things are only there to assist the drivers. So the drivers still need to be aware of all the other hazards happening around them, people that's cutting in front of them, harsh braking events, which is something that we want to keep down to a minimum. So their following distance is critical that they follow that. So it's the in-cab assessments that we do with them, and we monitor those things. We also look at things such as, for example, the speeding violations that they have. They have to keep within the speed limit. We also then train them on all the defensive driving techniques that's available. We do with them K53, whereby they need to know and understand the rules of the road. That's also critical. We have incentives monthly whereby we give them a reward for the best drivers. We also have the Driver of the Year competitions. These are also to inspire them to become the best that they possibly can. So you also look, for example, on the vehicles, we have a scoring system. These vehicles these days are so advanced that they can tell the driver where he does right and where he does wrong, and we inspire them to continue to improve, and that's the important thing.
So is it safe for me to say it's all about influencing the behavior of the drivers and that they adopt safety at all costs? That's what comes first.
Sure. Defensive driving is based on two things. That's attitude and skill. So once you have improved your attitude, your skill will also improve. So it's continuously improving your skill and your attitude. And if you add to that the knowledge and understanding of how the vehicle operates and works better, it becomes so much easier for the driver to be a professional driver. And I've had the pleasure of speaking to someone yesterday, and they said they've seen some of our vehicles on the road. And I asked the question, did they behave? And yes, they said they behave.
Awesome.
And that was good.
Fantastic. I think the other thing that I always like to chat about when we are talking about drivers, particularly in our industry, is the fact that a driver today is not just a driver. They have to be able to do first aid if they need it. They've got to be able to fight fires, which we practice on a fairly regular basis. Dirk is also an ex-fireman, so he's in charge of that as well. They've got to be able to drive these vehicles. And of course, they've got to provide a service to our customers, because it's the first point of contact between Sebekin Fuels and our customers is the driver.
Sure. And that's why it's so critical that training continues on a daily basis, because we also monitor them and we are proactive. Once we see that there's a problem with the driver, we start looking at those problems that they have, such as harsh braking events. We discuss that with them, we do remedial training and say, right, this is where you can improve. And that's why we continuously look at improving these guys, because it's not a magic wand that one has. You don't just climb into a vehicle and automatically the driver is a better driver simply because you've been with him for an hour or 6 or whatever the case may be, but it takes time for him to change his habits and the style that he's used to prior to the training.
Fantastic. So I think, long story short, here at Sebekin Fuels, the love, the time, the effort we put into training our drivers, it's all about stopping an incident from happening. It's not about fixing an accident after it's happened. Thank you so much for your time, Dirk, and for everything you do. Thank you guys for joining us today. We'll see you again soon.